Hello everyone, this is Chris with Sticker Fab. I am in my last few hours that we have with our two-door Bronco. There it is. This is a flood salvage. It will be picked up today, but there are a couple things that I wanted to get done to it. And we already shot the video of the roll bar protection. A lot of customers were requesting this for a long time. I had never taken the top off, but push came to shove, and I did. I saw in this area when you're taking it out, you might accidentally scratch that. So the video before this one is the installation of that roll bar protection, and I thought, well, because of the screws and guides on the bottom of that hard top, mainly these four guys, they are plastic, but if you accidentally slide them, you might scratch this area right here. So I wanted to protect that, so I made a couple of overlays, one for the left side, one for the right side. They just sit right here. Same pattern as this, but you can also get it in clear. It goes in this area, and it has cutouts for the 6 holes on each side. So it's 67 degrees right now. I like to install things between 70 and 80 degrees usually. When I made these templates, I was installing it in much hotter temperatures. It was like 85 or 86 during the day. The sun was beating on it and it was stretching, so I had to park it in the shade so that the vinyl didn't stretch out. Now, if it's really cold where you are, you can do it in the sun. You'll start to get a feel for how the vinyl reacts. You can keep a heat gun around. That can help as well, because you can apply a little heat if you need to afterwards to help dry this out and get all that out. You're going to have your template left side, right side. Just follow the pattern in here. I have some speed wipes so I can clean off this area. It doesn't have any wax in it, so it doesn't leave anything in between the layer of the vinyl and the actual paint. I have a microfiber cloth. I have a felt tip squeegee, which we have in our store, and I have Sticker Fab application fluid, which is great. I think it has a little bit of alcohol content in it, so it helps you slide things around, but then it dries out really, really well, better than soapy water. So I love using that. It really makes me a better installer. I'm not really a professional installer. I don't do wraps or anything like that. I try to keep it simple with all of our pre-cut templates so that if I can install it, you guys can install it. So let's get into this installation. I just have to set this thing up in a mount and we'll knock it out. Alright, so if you're in an environment where it's colder than 70 degrees and you can wait until you can get an environment where it's warmer, by all means do. It'll make this installation a lot easier. Like I said, I'm going to spray this area down with our quick detailer. I'm going to clean it off. And not just on the surface, but around the sides just a little bit, especially if you think that vinyl might come into contact with the other painted surfaces. You don't want those dirty. To take my Sticker Fab application fluid, I'm going to find the appropriate template. See these 2 holes? Looks like this one is the right one. Especially if it's windy, I encourage you to peel this off just a little bit at a time, and or get a partner to help you. Spray the Sticker Fab application fluid. You can be quite liberal with it, it's alright. Let's take this off now. Lay it back down. Spray the rest. Alrighty. Now I like the slightly warmer but not too hot environments because that allows you to guide this really easily. You can push it down and then kind of move it as you go. If it's too cold, this becomes really brittle. Now that doesn't matter so much once it's down, but as you're trying to align it on the go, if it's brittle, you can't change the angle of it by using pressure as much. So we want to make sure it aligns to those holes, and then just kind of gently guide it all the way down. If you don't like your alignment, just pull up and move it around. I'm installing the 3D carbon here because it's a lot easier to see, and it's really easy to install. It has a nice deep dark look to it. Pretty scratch resistant. The clear you will want to make sure your hands are super clean. I just got back from the gym. I think I have gym chalk on my hand. You won't see that as much under the 3D carbon. But if you have clear and you touch the bottom of that, you're going to see fingerprints, dirt, all sorts of stuff. So make sure, in general, that before installing vinyl, your hands are really clean. I'm going to use my squeegee. I'll push this out. Make sure there's no liquids left trapped underneath this. One of the great things about 3D carbon is not only is it heat activated, it is also pressure activated. Now if it was a little bit warmer, this would stick a little bit better. Like I said, 68 degrees and we are in the shade. The good thing is though, I can take it from the shade and then I can park it in the sun once I already have it aligned, and I can push down on all the edges all over again. And they will stick really well with that added heat. So that was really simple to install. Even though it's a longer piece, those little holes help you guide, align it. The fact that the material has air egress channels helps so that you don't trap air bubbles, water, sticker fab application fluid, whatnot underneath the surface. And then just use a little pressure to get it to sit right. Like I said, if this was a permanent installation, if we weren't getting rid of this vehicle in a few hours, I would park it in the sun, push all those edges down one more time, and they would develop that really strong semi-permanent bond. Alright, so let's have one more look at this. Meshes well with the roll bar protection. You can see some of the textures in the OEM stuff. Kind of makes sense to use this material. Looks pretty good. Like I said, get some heat. You can also use a heat gun, so you can push this down all the way. When I was installing warmer weather, there was no issues at all getting that to stay down. But now that I have it perfectly aligned, just a little bit of heat in those areas will do it wonders. We can look at the other side. You can see how well it's sticking to those edges, no problem. This was only on a few hours before it got dark, and now it's sat outside with the top off all night, so you have all that condensation on here. It's adhering really well to this painted surface because the heat helped it bond a little bit better. Alright you guys, thank you for your continued support. Please like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already, and hit that bell notification icon for the latest and greatest things we're working on for the 2021 and up Ford Bronco.